Good evening. Thank you to everybody already in the chat room. Thanks very much. Really appreciate that. But yeah, Lacazette. Is he about to sign a new contract? There's on his agent, his agency that he's signed to that take care of all his contract issues and stuff like that. On their Instagram, they are at Highbury House, which is where all the contracts get dealt with, and that's where you see the players signing their contracts. And that's when you've got the manager behind them or whatever when a player signs and they're penning the contract in. Well, Lacazette's agent has posted on his Instagram, and if you want to go and check it out, feel free. The Instagram page is _agencies. So feel free to go and check that out. He's posted a few little bits up there. One was from Highbury House, and two others were outside of the Emirates Gym. It didn't show his face or anything like that. Just showed the stadium more than anything, and then obviously inside the actual ground. So inside Highbury House itself. So yeah, it looks like some more good news is about to come our way, because I don't understand why he'd be there unless it was to deal with a new contract. Can't imagine that he would be there if we're going to sell him. That just wouldn't work. Surely it'd be not on his Instagram story if that was the case. And yeah, there we go. I think that obviously there was a report going around a couple of weeks ago that we were going to offer him a new contract, and we were going to offer Aubameyang a new contract. But where does this leave Aubameyang? Obviously, we've not seen or heard anything else since about how Aubameyang's contract negotiations have gone, whether he's going to sign a new contract, whether he has signed a new contract. We've not heard anything from the Aubameyang camp. All we see on Aubameyang's Insta stories is him on a private jetting around the world. So, yeah, we haven't had any news or updates on Aubameyang. With Lacazette, obviously, like I said, his agent has put it all over his Instagram that he's at Highbury House. So, I don't know. And if we do sign Lacazette up to a new contract, does that mean that Aubameyang's going to go? Does that mean he's staying and getting a new deal? Or does that mean he's staying and not getting a new deal? I don't know. I'm not too sure. But one thing's for sure is they scored, I think it was about 40% of 50% of our goals last season, probably even more than that. They were involved in about 60 goals, I think, or 55 goals, something ridiculous. So yeah, I think that is some good news. Obviously, we've already had the good news today that we've signed Gabriel Martinelli. That was announced about 3 or 4 hours ago, probably about 2.5, 3 hours ago, actually. Anybody who hasn't seen my live stream for that, I did it as soon as we announced it. You can go back and check that out. Feel free. But yeah, it looks like the good news is going to keep continuing because, like I said, I can't see any reason why Lacazette's agent would be at Highbury House unless it's to sort out a new contract. So I think that would be fantastic news because personally, for me, I think he's our best player. I think he proved that last season. Obviously, the fans voted him player of the season, and damn right as well. He was absolutely superb last season. So yeah, there's some more good news coming out of the Arsenal right now. Obviously, like I said, Martinelli signed this afternoon, about €6 million. I'd never heard of him until we were linked to him. I think that afternoon VP, afternoon 120 people of you watching right now. Thank you very much. I will go through some questions and comments in a minute. But yeah, this Martinelli is from the Brazilian 4th division. So yeah, it's a massive step up for him. He did actually train with the first team for with the Brazil national team. He actually got called up to train with the Brazil national team. Now that is some levels to jump up from a 4th division of Brazil to go and train with some of the best players on the planet. That shows how highly they obviously rate him. And listen, people are still moaning. I've been all over Twitter just having a little nose and stuff like that, and people are still absolutely crying. What are you crying for? How many other teams have announced players? We've actually signed a player. That is what people wanted. We've signed a player. I personally said we wouldn't sign a player until after the kit was launched, and hey presto, the following day we sign a player. But what do I know? You don't know nothing. But I think that we will sign some more players. I don't know whether Zahara come. I don't know whether Tierney will come, although I do think that will happen. But I've not got any special information or anything like that. But I'm not sure about Zahar. That's going to be a hard deal to get over the line unless he spits his dummy out. So yeah, it's all starting to look up, and it's all starting to look like we're actually doing stuff in the market now. And listen, I fully believed we were doing stuff anyway. It's just our impatient fan base that want everything done just like that and want it done bigger and better than everyone else. Don't work like that. You know, the fact that we've got 400 grand off the wage bill with Ospina, Ramsey, Welbeck and Cech, Lichtstein are all going out the club. That's over 400 grand in wages. You know, that ended and was out the club on the 1st of July, at midnight on the 30th into the 1st. So that was freed up off the wage bill. That then could go and pay towards other players. Maybe they were waiting for that to happen. Maybe the deals are done and they haven't announced them. We don't know. You know, but all I see is negative comments left, right, and centre. Not by you guys, but all over other social media accounts like Twitter and things like that. And it's just like, seriously, I just don't understand why people are crying and having a meltdown. I genuinely don't get it. You know, Man United have signed one player. They've paid over the odds for him because he ain't worth £50 million. And then they signed the young boy from Swansea, who again is on par with the young boy we've signed, maybe, or maybe a little bit better than the young boy we've signed. But at the end of the day, they've signed one player and they've paid over the odds for Wan-Bissaka. He ain't a £50 million player. I suppose if you compare him to Kyle Walker, then yeah, he probably is a £50 million player because he's better than Kyle Walker. But neither of them are worth that sort of money. But they've paid over the odds to get that player in. I don't mean we're going to. Why should we? Why should we pay over the odds? We've been doing that for a decade and look where it's got us. We've paid Mesut Ozil over the odds, Granit Xhaka over the odds, Mustafi over the odds. You know, we've paid Kolasinac over the odds. He was the worst free signing we've had for a while. You know, he's cost us 150, 160 grand a week, whatever he's on, and he's useless. So, you know, I think fans just need to calm down a little bit. I know we're all wanting signings and wanting players and new players to come in and players to go out, but it don't happen just like that, and it don't happen because you're having a meltdown over it. Do you know what I'm saying? Nobody at the club gives a toss. Yeah, we all know that. As soon as we all accept it and move on with our lives, we'll all live a bit happier. Yeah, they're not sitting on Twitter reading any of your tweets or my tweets going, oh, look, he's in meltdown, let's announce a player. They couldn't care less. They'll announce their players when they want to announce their players. You know, they could have announced this Martinelli deal yesterday, but they didn't because they probably didn't want it to overshadow a kit launch. It probably would have been a better idea to announce it on the kit launch day. It would have been an extra buzz, but they didn't. They decided to do it today, and that's up to them when they announce their players, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's read some of these comments out. Cole Clement says Brahimi next and Tierney, Saliba and Celebos. Zaha won't happen. I'm not sure about the boy from Madrid. Don't think we'll get him, mate. Saliba, I ain't too fussed if we get him or not, if I'm being honest. Brahimi, I'll take. And Tierney, definitely. One of the only players who gave the opposition problems last season was Kolasinac, whilst everyone else was passing sideways and backwards. He's a good backup for the Europa League, says Lundbergham. Do you know what, right? He gets in great positions, but his delivery's crap. And he's not adaptable in a back four. Like, he can't work in a back four, so he can only play a back five, which I don't think Emery wants to do. I get what you're saying, though. He could be a backup. To be honest, I'd rather keep Monreal for another year than Kolasinac. I think that get rid of Kolasinac, get the money in for him. It'd be double or treble or quadruple what we'd get for Monreal. So yeah, maybe, I don't know. Kyle Moss says, is there any chance of Tierney going to Napoli? Well, Naples is a beautiful part of the world, mate, but I don't think he's going there anytime soon. He was in Glasgow yesterday. I see saying in a newspaper online that he was having dinner at some swanky restaurant in the West End of Glasgow. Napoli are ahead of us for Tierney. Well, they can be ahead of us all they like. I don't personally think he's going to go there. I may be wrong. I may be sat here when he signs for Napoli having a meltdown about it. But I don't think he'll go to Napoli. And why would he go to Napoli? Can they offer him better money than we can? Probably not. Can they offer him the exposure of playing in the best league in the world? No. Are they going to win the title against Juventus? No. Will he get Champions League football? Yes. That's all they can offer him. Champions League football. So I don't know. We're a bigger club than Napoli. No disrespect to them. I don't dislike them or anything like that, but we're a bigger club than them and we can pay more money and give him more exposure. And the Premier League's the most watched league in world football. So obviously that would be going out to millions upon billions of people. And why do you keep asking me what car I drive? Like it's going to change your life, man. Seriously, 3 times you've asked me that. Who was the best Scotsman to play in Italy? Not sure, mate. Not sure, to be honest. Would you rather Chenig under or Zaha? I'd take Zaha over him, but he's a good player. But for me, Zaha over him. Spurs have signed Ndombele. I don't think it's official. It's just, I think it's just Sky Sports saying that it's done. So yeah, maybe it is. And to be honest, I couldn't care less who they sign, mate. It's official, is it? Oh, have they actually announced it now? They hadn't announced it. Yeah, check my Twitter. They hadn't announced it. Liam Brady was the best Irishman in Italy. Definitely 100%. He left Arsenal too soon, mate. Let's have a little look here. So they've announced it, have they? They actually have as well. 11 minutes ago. Good signing for them. Good signing, but I couldn't care less, really, if I'm being honest. Do you watch 442s? Sometimes I do, mate. You are answering like you know everything. I'm not. I'm answering, and it's called my opinion, mate. Maybe you should open your ears and listen. It's called an opinion, my opinion. And if you'd listened before that, I actually said I don't claim to know anything. So maybe rewind the stream and go back and check it again, mate, yeah? I saw the Martinelli announcement. He looks like a baller. Listen, he won player of the season out there, yeah? I think he was the quickest player to get double digits on goals as well. I think he got 10 goals in 30-odd games. I think that obviously he got called up to train with the Brazil national team. 18 years old and he's training with some of the best players on the planet. So, good luck to him. And I hope he does it really well for us. He could be our Gabriel Jesus, couldn't he? Come in, hit the ground running and take the league by storm, which is what Gabriel did when he first, Jesus did, sorry, when he first came over. We were like, who the fuck is this guy? And every time he plays for City, he does something really, doesn't he? So yeah, hopefully. And listen, I said earlier, it doesn't matter how old he is or how young he is. If he's good enough, he's going to play games, and the manager will pick him. He's done that with Guendouzi. So, yeah, man, I'm happy we've signed a player. Does that mean we've only got £34 million left of our budget? Who knows? He's average. Do you watch him every week? Can you actually claim that? Do you actually watch him? Genuine question. Apparently it was Edu that got him to sign. Yeah, he said in he did his interview on Arsenal.com. He said that Edu and Denilson were players that he grew up watching at Arsenal. I thought, Jesus Christ, you forgot Gilberto, but you mentioned Denilson. But yeah, I think Edu, he obviously worked with Edu as well. So yeah, man, Edu had a massive part to play in that, hopefully. To be fair, it doesn't matter whether Ndombele is better than Lucas Torreira. It makes no difference whatsoever. Falcao was better than most of the strikers in the Premier League. He came here and did fuck all. So it don't really matter. Same with Diego Forlan, one of the best strikers on the planet, comes to the Premier League, flops. Shevchenko, another one, flopped. I know they're all strikers and this is a midfielder, but Saber Veron, flop. There's loads of players. Just because they're a good player in France don't mean they're going to be necessarily a good player here. If you're going to try saying I'm salty, at least spell you're right. You're salty. You can't even spell, mate. I would love to see Ziyech at Arsenal. So would I, Ahmed. I think he'd do fantastic for us, mate. To be honest, are you buying the new kit? I bought it yesterday, mate. I see you more than my wife these days. And Ketia has come out and said he wants to play this season. Do you think we should play him or loan him? Says Alex. I think we should loan him, if I'm being honest. I don't think he's quite there yet. I think he's got a talent. Obviously, he's got a talent. He's skillful. He's a very good player. But you know, the games I've seen him, I just haven't seen enough of him. Like he played against Blackpool, missed 2 sitters. He's come on in a couple of right. Let's put this naughty little Tottenham fan on timeout. Naughty boy, go to the naughty step. I swear, mate. It's probably got nothing better to do. But I haven't seen enough of him. He came off the bench a couple of times towards the end of the season, and he looked really good and really like sharp. But he's not really started many games for Arsenal. I'd rather loan him, maybe to a Premier League team further down the table. Let him play week in, week out, and then see how he goes from there. So yeah, loan for me, mate. Ericsson leaving, swapping with Ozil, says Kingslayer. Mate, I'd swap you for Ozil right now. Ericsson's a good player, but he ain't coming to us. And I'd imagine that he'll end up at Madrid by the end of the transfer window. Do you watch rugby or cricket? Says Connor United. I don't watch either, mate. I don't watch either. I rarely watch TV, if I'm being honest. There's nothing really on it I like. I like watching these murder programs and like most dangerous killers and shit like that. That's the sort of shit I'm into. But yeah, nothing else really. What's this about Lacazette? Right, so for everyone who's joined late, Lacazette's agent is at Highbury House. Apparently, reports are going around he's about to sign a new contract. His agent has put it on his Instagram story. If you want to check his Instagram story out, it is, if I can remember his fucking name. Oh, Jesus Christ. I think it was score _ agencies. IES at the end, not YS, IES. Score _ agencies on Instagram. There you go. Kyle Moss has just put it up on the screen for everyone who wants to go and check it out. So copy and paste that into Instagram. Go and check it. It's on his Insta story. That he's at Highbury House, which is where they do the contract signings. So yeah, he's put it up there. Why would he put that up there unless he's about to sign a new deal? Because he ain't going to be leaving anytime soon, I don't think. And if he is, then why would his agent put that up on Insta? What is that to say? Oh, look, we're about to leave. Let's just show you Highbury House before we go. Of course it ain't. So I personally think that's going to be a new deal. There's reports saying it's going to be a new deal. And you know what? I think he fully deserves it. He was our best player last season. And he's the only one for me that should be captain. Him or, well, I say only one. He should be captain. He leads by example. Even when when the fans are booing, when they're making substitutions and stuff like that. I think even then he still gets the crowd up and tries to get the crowd back on side when everyone's booing. So yeah, for me, he should be captain. Thoughts on Loftus-Cheek? Chelsea player, decent player, should have played more in the World Cup for England. Leno for captain, says Riley Barnes. Not for me, buddy. Not for me. Xhaka as captain. Stop trolling me, man. Zaha or Fraser? Fraser for me. How can you not rate Zaha? I just don't. I don't see the hype, mate. I get asked that about Ozil all the time. Well, if you can't see what he does, you don't understand football. Well, maybe I do, and that's why I think Ozil's shit. Good afternoon from England to Hazwan from Malaysia. How you doing, mate? No one for captain. We don't have any leaders. Jenkinson for captain. Yeah, hopefully at Crystal Palace. Zaha ain't all that. Exactly. There's a lot of people. Listen, there's a big split with Arsenal fans about Wilfried Zaha. A lot of them rate him and think he's absolutely amazing. And a lot of them don't. But somebody's just put on the screen 10 goals, 10 assists. Sorry, that's his best ever season. And people can say, oh, yeah, well, he's doing it in a shit team and this and that. Well, how many of them assists were where he dived for penalties and then the guy stepped up and scored? Milahajlovic or whatever his name is. Because if you win a penalty and the goal scorer scores it, the penalty taker scores it, you get an assist. Zaha is done when VAR comes in. Couldn't agree more, mate. James Maddison, yes, I'd take him at Arsenal. Fraser plays for Bournemouth and got 15 assists. There we go. There we go. He scored 8 away goals. Maybe he should turn up at home then. He only scored 10 goals and 8 of them were away from home. What's he doing at home then? Is he comfortable? Not good enough, man. I don't think he's good enough. That's just my opinion. Declan Rice, says Dean Mullinger. Good player, not worth 50 million, 60 million. Zaha is great at dribbling, but Fraser's far better overall, all round. Couldn't agree more, Giancarlo. Are you watching the World Cup semi-final, England versus US? I will not be watching it, VP. I couldn't care less about it. What is Zaha worth? He's worth about £40 million, which is what we've bid for him. There you go. Troy Deeney got 9 goals in 32 games. That's a better return than Zaha. There we go. Lee is more consistent than Jesse Lingard. Oh, God. Maguire bid rejected. Do you know what? I see that. 70 million. Are they on crack for rejecting that? There's no way he's going for any more than that. He ain't worth that, man. There's no way he is worth £70 million. They're never going to get a return on that money. Ever. You know, even if they kept him for the next 8 years, right, and gave him another contract. Let's say they put him on 100 grand a week on an 8-year contract. There's fucking what? £40 million. 100 grand, 5 million, 8 years, 40 million. Yeah, £40 million. That's £110 million if they took 70 million, plus the wages, plus the agent fee. So let's say 5 mil to the agent, yeah? That's £115 million they're going to invest in Harry Maguire at 70 million and 100 grand a week for the next 8 years. Let's say he stayed and renewed another contract, yeah? How are they going to recoup that money? Yeah, he ain't worth that. He ain't got no marketability about him, yeah, apart from the fact he plays for fucking England. And what? Do you think we will go for Ziyech after the Africa Cup of Nations? I bloody hope so, mate. I hope so. Because I think he's a top talent and it fits straight into Arsenal. English overhyped prices, exactly. Should we sell Aubameyang? Probably not, but if the right offer comes in, then why not? If you want another Ozil situation, Ziyech is the perfect man. Really? Well, is he that bad? His stats are all right. His stats are all right. He looks like he can track back. He works really hard by the looks of it. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think he's a good player. I must admit, I've only seen what I see of him in the Champions League. So I don't know. Lee, can you make a video about how Sky killed football? I'm not from the UK and I've got no idea. I'll probably get done for copyright or something. But basically, I think the way they killed football, I'll just go through it quickly. Yeah, thanks for your donation as well, mate. Appreciate it, Sergio. I think the way they, thank you as well, Nick. Appreciate that, mate. Thanks very much. I think the way they killed football is the fact that, like, they started pumping so much money into it, you know, and the Premier League, Sky Sports, Champions League that went from European Cup to Champions League, and doing away with the UEFA Cup. Yeah, I think all of these things, right, have all had an impact, and then BT Sport coming along as well, have all had an impact on making every single club bigger. Yeah, don't get me wrong, every club's bigger now, yeah, right? But at the same time, it wasn't all about just the money, right? You go and ask club legends of this football club, like Kevin Campbell. It was about growing up in your local area, going and playing for the fucking Arsenal. You're walking out with pride, with that badge on your shirt, because you're playing for your local club. Yeah, now they don't give two fucks. Yeah, even if they're local, they couldn't give a fuck. Yeah, now a youth teamer, if you go down the training ground at Colney, you'll see every single fucking under 23 player driving out in a brand spanking new Mercedes. Yeah, they're all on about 10, 12 grand a week, 5 grand a week, 6 grand, whatever it may be. Yeah, all blinged up with their fancy Rolexes. They ain't even kicked a fucking ball in first team football and they're millionaires. Yeah, and that is where football has been fucking destroyed, right? Because now it ain't all about making it. It's just all about getting the biggest contract. Yeah, and it's all about the club getting the biggest deal for them in terms of sponsorship deals, right? Which I suppose in turn they go hand in hand. Yeah, because the bigger the sponsorship deal, surely the better the players you can buy. But when you're a young boy of 17, 18 years old and you have played no football for a first team and you're already a multi-millionaire, how has that even been allowed? You know, you used to have to do a YTS scheme back in the day. You have to go and clean the fucking first team squad's boots. Yeah, so like Tony Adams would have a boot boy. Somebody would come in and get his boots and clean his boots every day. Yeah, they used to have to sweep the dressing room, and it taught them respect and it taught them discipline and it taught them, well, these are actually the superstars because they've made it and they're regular first teamers. We're still little boys. We're still little kids. We've got to try and strive to be like that. Yeah, and then by the time they got to that level, they knew the respect and they knew everything about the club. They'd been a boot boy. They'd swept the dressing room. They'd swept the terraces. Yeah. And, you know, yeah, I know the boots don't get dirty anymore, but even so. But yeah, there's no respect. None of these kids get it now, man. You know, that was proper back in the day, the YTS. But you know what, right? They were on, like, I think it was 25 quid a week as a YTS player. Yeah. But there was respect and there was honor, and it was like, you know what? Yeah, we have to strive to become these superstars of the first team. Now they're already a superstar before they've even kicked a ball. Yeah, and that is all down to fucking money from Premier League, Sky Sports, Champions League, BT Sport, and anybody else who's fucking thrown a load of money into it. Yeah, because, like I said, go down the training ground, they're all driving around in 100 grand cars. And they've never played a first team game. And good luck to them. Listen, I don't have the right to tell anyone not to fucking earn money or how to earn their money. At the end of the day, you can't knock people that are earning money. Yeah, that's how I see it. But at the same time, I think it's just totally killed the fucking heart of the game, because it's not about making it to the first team anymore. It's about just getting that big contract. Yeah, and then after that, no, who gives a fuck? Don't matter if I play. I've got my contract now. So there's a story of a Man City player. I can't remember who it was, but he bought his mum a £2.5 million house. Yeah, what a story! Fantastic gesture from that kid. Yeah, I think he was only 18 or 19. Never kicked a ball for Man City. He's bought his old girl a £2.5 million gaff. Yeah, fair play, but it shouldn't be allowed. That's just my opinion on it, and that is all down to Sky and everyone else fucking pumping stupid, obscene amounts of money into it. I don't think it was Phil Foden. I can't remember the geezer's name, mate. It might have been. I don't think it was him, though. No, it weren't. It weren't. The kid ain't played. I think he's played one game for Man City's first team. It weren't Phil Foden. Anyway, so yeah, there we go. But I could genuinely talk about hours and hours and hours about fucking Sky Sports and all this bullshit. Oh, there we go. Everyone's saying it was Foden. Well, I think he'd only played 2 games or 1 game at the time. £2 million house. There we go. I hope Nelson gets first team football. Yep, so do I, mate. So do I. Will the money ever leave football? Well, eventually it's going to go pop, because eventually there's going to be a massive football club go bust, mate, and disappear. I don't know who that's going to be. Obviously, I can't see into the future, but I think eventually, listen, it can't keep carrying on. You can't pay £200 million for Neymar, and then well, where's it end? Where's it end? What, we're going to pay £1 billion for a player next? Do you know what I'm saying? It's just never ending. Like, well, eventually it has to end, and eventually it's going to the shit's going to hit the fan big time, and the arse end is going to fall straight out of it. Cute smile, Guna. Good evening to you, my friend. I hope you are well. I see you in my comment section on my videos. And thank you for your donation, mate. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. What about Leon Bailey from Leverkusen? Too soon, man. Too soon. One more season in Leverkusen. Make the video about Sky Sports League. Do you know what? Like, if I get a chance, I'll do something a little bit better than just sitting there having a rant. The problem is I go on holiday in about 10 days or so. So it might not even be until when I'm back, which is the end of July. But salary cap, says Vincent. See, this is the thing, right? A lot of people have mentioned about salary caps, yeah, and mentioned about doing that. But the problem is, you can't cap somebody's wages. You can't do that. Yeah, it's unethical. You can't do that. Why are you stopping somebody earning money? Do you know what I'm saying? And they'll find a way around it in the European Court of fucking some bullshit. Do you know what I'm saying? So they'll find a way around it with a massive bonus scheme. So your wages might be capped, but then at the end of every season, you get a £20 million bonus. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's always a way around it, but it's getting ridiculous now. £70 million for Harry Maguire. Fucking turn it in. 70 million. Then basically that's saying he's on par with Van Dijk. I'm sorry, not in the same fucking league. Well, they are in the same league, but you know what I'm saying. In terms of fucking footballing ability, no chance. It's like Wilfried Zaha, same price as fucking, or less or thereabouts as fucking Ronaldo and Eden Hazard. Fucking turn it in, mate. It's gone mad. It's gone ridiculous. What will happen to Iwobi and Nelson when we sign Wilfried Zaha? Well, I like your positivity about when we sign him. Cheers for that, Gershwin. I think they'll both be here. I think they'll both be here, mate. Do you think Mino Raiola has inflated football? Mino Raiola has inflated not only his fucking belly, but his bank balance and football prices. And yeah, he is a part of the problem as well. Massive problem. And thanks for your donation, mate. Good evening, Rabba. The American leagues have caps. I do know that, but I think they'll have a bonus scheme. I mean, Zlatan's not gone there to not earn top dollar money, is he? Do you know what I'm saying? So there'll be a way around it. Thanks for your donation as well, mate. There'll definitely be a way around it. They always find a way. These clubs are too clever. They've got lawyers working on their behalf. There's always a way around something. You just got to find the way around it. Thanks to 630 people watching live, only 100 likes. Do stick a like on the video. Very close as well. I'm actually shocked how quick this is going up, but very close to 20k. I'm about 400 odd away from 20k. So thank you very much to nearly 20,000 of you that have subscribed. And yeah, really appreciate it. I'm going to wrap it up there. I will be back at 9 o'clock. So thank you to every one of the 600 odd people that were watching. Like I said, put a like on the video before you leave. Thanks to everyone in the comments and to the people that donated as well. I genuinely appreciate all of it. So thank you very much. I'll be back at 9 o'clock. You never know. We might have signed another player by then. So I will see you all later.